Hello, Junior Church, and welcome to another lesson via YouTube. This week, we have a special guest that's going to tell us about Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, and I can't wait for that. But before we get started, I'm going to go over a few things that we just did last week. As you know, I'm Ms. Mindy, and we do this every week when we can't be there in person, and I'm so sorry that we can't. But until we do, there's lots of good we can do together. So first thing we're going to do is review our principles and our two prayers that we were learning the last 2 weeks. So our 4 principles. At CSA, we believe God is all there is. All thought is creative and influential, which I know you know. Everything is either a call for love or an expression of love, no exceptions. You are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as you are right now. And one of the prayers we learned was, God is my strength, I can't be sick. God is my health, unfailing, quick. God is my all, I know no fear. Since God and love and truth are here. And remember the GLT, like the BLT, we did that picture so that you could remember God, love, and truth are here. And the other prayer that we learned, I am the place where God shines through. For God and I are one, not two. I need not fear, nor worry or plan. God's with me wherever I am. All right, you can also pause the video and go over those prayers as many times as you'd like. So now I'm going to bring my friend, Caron Winston, on, and she's going to tell you about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and then she's going to read a book to you. So we're going to learn about Yom Kippur and read the book Shira at the Temple, and it will be read by Caron Winston. But first, let me go get her. Hold on. All right, I have Caron Winston with me here. And Caron, can you tell, she's a very dear friend for a long time. And she has taught me a lot about Jewish holidays. But I don't know a lot about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, so I'm going to learn just like you are. So, Caron, can you tell us about these high holy days?
Well, I certainly can. And thank you, Miss Mindy, for inviting me to be your teacher and to teach your students. Absolutely. So I brought a few different things with me. First, I brought a very special book that we use on Yom Kippur. And this book is called a Machzor, and you'll hear that a little bit later in a minute, just a few minutes. A Machzor, which is a special prayer book. And I also brought with me, and I'm wearing my talit. And my talit has a prayer around the neck and fringes on the ends that represent all the commandments. So we're going to talk a little bit about Rosh Hashanah and certainly about Yom Kippur, because these are the high holy days that start the Jewish New Year. So I'm ready to read you a very special story about a little girl who wants to be part of the service. The title of this book is Shira at the Temple, a Yom Kippur story. And the author's name is Galia Sabag. And the illustrator, the person who did these beautiful pictures, is Erin Taylor. And let me just tell you that the word Shira, that's the name of the little girl, in Hebrew translates to song or music. So she has a beautiful name. Shira at the Temple. And it's dedicated to her mom, and the Hebrew word for mom is Ima, and to her grandmother that they call Meme. And it's inspired by an old Hasidic folk tale. And the story goes like this. At school, Shira learned all about Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the Jewish year, and saying sorry or slicha, looking inward and asking, was I the best person I could be? Her teacher told the class that grown-ups don't eat or drink on Yom Kippur. They fast so they can concentrate on praying to God. There she is sitting at her desk and thinking about Jonah the whale. The teacher also read the story about Jonah and the big fish and the beautiful prayers that we all say on Yom Kippur. Kol Nidre starts the holiday. All Jewish holidays start at sundown. So Kol Nidre is at sundown, and then you fast that night and the whole next day until your tummy is really growling. And the very end of that day at sundown is Nila. And that's when the shofar, which is a long round, it's a long ram's horn that gets blown. And it kind of sounds like a trumpet. Shira knew that Yom Kippur is especially important and that every Jewish person should pray to God and say they're sorry, salicha, and make a plan to do better the following year. On Yom Kippur, Shira's parents took her to temple. Bet Knesset is the Hebrew word for temple. They were all dressed in their lovely holiday clothes. Her mom and dad were holding a prayer book called a machzor, and they were each wrapped in a talit. And I showed you that machzor, that was that book, and I'm wrapped in my talit right now, that prayer shawl. And there they are walking along. You can see the mom and the dad wearing their prayer shawl and carrying their machzor. Now they're sitting in the sanctuary and listening to the rabbi who's doing a service, and they're all sitting very respectful. Shira sat next to her parents and listened to the rabbi and the cantor chanting the prayers, mostly in Hebrew. She wanted very much to pray to God too, but she did not know how to read Hebrew yet. The service went on, and Shira wanted to be part of it. And she asked herself, how can I take part in this important prayer service? Shira heard the shofar at ram's horn, so loud and powerful. Tekiah is what the shofar sounds like, and knew what she was going to do. Slowly, she got up, went up onto the bima, which is the front of the sanctuary where the rabbi is, and pulled on Rabbi Dean's talit. Rabbi Dean stopped the prayer, looked down, and saw Shira next to him. He asked her, whispering, "What is it, Shira?" And Shira replied, "Rabbi Dean, I know I'm just a little kid and I don't know much Hebrew, but I do know how important Yom Kippur is, and I would like to take part in this service." Rabbi Dean looked surprised, but answered, "Go ahead, little Shira." Shira stood in front of the whole congregation and said in a loud, clear voice, "I would like to offer a prayer to God. I cannot read Hebrew yet, but I can recite all of the Hebrew alphabet letters and prayers that are made with Hebrew letters. Please, God, please take these letters and make the most wonderful Yom Kippur prayer out of them." And Shira started singing the alphabet song that she had learned in school. Now think about the alphabet that you all know, A, B, C, D. Well, she's going to sing the alphabet song that she learned. And it goes like this. Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Chaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pei, Fei, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Sin, Tav. And the whole temple was filled with Shira's letters. And there they are. And actually, there's a song that goes along with it. And it goes like this. Aleph, Bet, Fet, Aleph, Bet, Fet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. And you sing the whole alphabet just the way we sing our ABCs. And when she was finished singing, she heard people in the temple calling Yasha Koesh, which means good job, Shira. And even some people were clapping. Rabbi Dean hugged Shira and told her that her prayer was pure and inspirational because it came from her heart. And for sure, God got it and made the most meaningful prayer out of her Hebrew letters. There he is, saying what a good job she did. And Shira walked back to her seat and got hugs and high fives from her parents. And that was the last year Shira could not read from the Machzor. The year after, she knew more Hebrew and was able to follow along. And there's the book, there's the Machzor. And take a look at the spine. Notice the spine is on the right-hand side because we read Hebrew from right to left. So I guess you could say from the back of the book to the front of the book, but in Hebrew, it really is from the front of the book to the back of the book. And the Hebrew letters down at the bottom of that page there say, Hatima Tova, a good holiday to you. The end.
Caron, thank you so much. What a wonderful story. You can just feel Shira's pride as she was able to sing those letters and the heartfelt prayer that she was uttering those letters with.
Mm-hmm.
I love that story so much, and thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to share about the High Holy Days that would help us understand it better?
You mean you want me to talk to the students?
Yes.
Okay. Well, to make a sweet new year, and I just had this with my grandchildren just yesterday and the day before, is we cut up apples and you dip them in honey for a sweet new year. And most of the desserts are all about apples and honey.
That's great. I know that the Jewish religion has a lot of rituals, and and Rosh Hashanah is the beginning of the new year, and Yom Kippur signals the end of the holiday. Is that how it works?
Yes, it signals there's lots of holidays that happen, but that's the high holy days. Those are the holiest of holy, being very respectful, sitting in the sanctuary and praying about how you're going to be a better person this upcoming year. I mean, think about the fact that we're all pretty good people. But every once in a while, we do something that we're not proud of ourselves about. And those are the things that we need to think about that, I need to do a better job this year.
That's great. And are there services every single day of that week?
No, but there are lots of services, and you kind of pick and choose when you think it's important for you to go. But the holiest of holy days would be the day of Rosh Hashanah, and then Kol Nidre, which is the start of Yom Kippur, all the way to Niyala when they blow the shofar.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I know then that you sometimes have a special not dinner because you fasted for 24 hours, so you can't just eat a big dinner. But don't you have a special menu that you particularly?
We do. So at the end of Yom Kippur, because you've been fasting for probably close to 24 hours, and believe me, your tummy is growling at that point, we have what's called the break fast, not breakfast, break fast, break the fast or break fast meal. And it's usually a light dinner, maybe a dairy dinner. You're not going to eat a great big meal, even though you're starving. You're not going to eat a great big meal because your stomach is kind of, not feeling all that great. So you want to eat something light. So we normally have a dairy dinner. We may have bagels and cream cheese and a tuna fish salad and a pasta salad and, just something light.
That's great. Well, thank you again, Caron. We just appreciate you sharing with us so much.
Well, it was my pleasure, and I'm delighted to do it.
And may you have a fabulous Yom Kippur on Tuesday?
I think it's Tuesday night and Wednesday during the day. So it starts, let me look at my calendar. I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday night.
And Rosh Hashanah was just this last Tuesday, correct?
So then it would be Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Yes, starts Wednesday night. Yep, Wednesday night, Kol Nidre at 7:00. And it goes, so that's when we'll be having an early dinner and then a rumbly tumby the whole next day.
All right. Well, may you have a blessed one. And thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that's all we have for this week. But again, stay safe and wear those masks. Wash your hands and be kind to one another. Have a very blessed week. We love you so much and can't wait till we can reopen. And we will let you know when that is. But until then, take care and much, much love.